Good afternoon, Michael Player on the Michael Player Show. It's a pleasure to be with you on this beautiful afternoon. We're broadcasting live from the LoneStar InternetRadio.com studios in downtown Conroe, 208 North Main. Michael Player with you, following up after Mr. Mike Sasser. Great show there. Got a lot of good information. If you want to follow up on anything, it's MikeSasser.com, www.mikesasser.com. Good friend of mine, known him for a couple of years now. He's a big fan, and he's a big fan of mine. I'm a big fan of his, no doubt whatsoever. This is the Michael Player Show. Thanks again for tuning in. It's going to be every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. It's going to be soon to be. We're so excited about this information that we have now. Going to go FM. So we're broadcasting on the internet and on the FM radio waves throughout the majority of Montgomery County. We're going to be 104.5 and 106.1. So go ahead and mark that down, because you're going to want to need to know that. So when you're scanning through and you hear the new radio station, it's going to be Lone Star Community Radio 104.5 and 106.1. So looking forward to that. Call in if you want to during the show. Feel free to call in. That goes to anybody who has a voice. 936-647-3776. Make your voice heard around the world. We've got a lot of things to talk about, so call in if you want to contribute to the on-air discussion. This show is all about entertainment in the Montgomery County area and, of course, around the world. Monday, like for instance, we had a local entertainer, artist, singer-songwriter, Mr. Jack Nelson. He was in here Monday talking about his new upcoming CD to be released. He's talking about some band things and a lot of stuff going on in his world. Then I got to see him last night perform at Ransom's Steakhouse. Enjoyed that show very much. Got to see some old friends that I hadn't seen in a while there at Ransom. So it was good to see Jack Nelson. Check Jack Nelson out at jacknelsonband.com and go to Facebook and like his material. I'm sure you'll get some enjoyment out of that. I myself have got something to plug at Ransom's. We're doing, when I say we, it's going to be a solo acoustic show. I'm going to be performing live at Ransom's Steakhouse in Montgomery this Saturday. It's going to be the Valentine show. I'm going to sing every love song that I know, maybe some that I don't know. It's going to be a good show. Bring your dancing shoes. And if you've ever been to Ransom's, check it out on Facebook or the internet. It's a really cool joint. It's an L-shaped building. Some of the best steaks in all of Houston area are served there in the restaurant area. And then adjacent to it in the long portion of the L is a saloon, if you will, with a stage, outdoor seating, and a bar with a lot of good IPAs and drafts, and of course all of your favorite adult beverages being served right there at Ransom Steakhouse in Montgomery. Check them out on Facebook, and if you go by there, tell Hillary that I said hi and that I sent you out there. It's Ransom Steakhouse right there on CB Stewart in Montgomery, adjacent to Buffalo Springs. Oh, well, what else can we talk about? The move. We move on into the fallout from Beyonce's performance during the Super Bowl. I have been kind of loosely keeping up with that, but it has always been something that has been a fine line between what an artist does when they mix politics and their entertainment. So some of the fallout of Beyonce's performance during the Super Bowl is that it was promoting the black militant group Black Panthers, and it was paying homage to their women. How dare she stand up for her rights? Now, and one of those things about Beyonce is why it's important. Beyonce has Houston roots. Yes, if you didn't know, Beyonce got her career started here with Destiny's Child, which I always was wondering, why is it Destiny's Child? There was 3 of them. Why weren't they Destiny's Children? It was just Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child. But anyway, the Mayor Rudy Giuliani, let me get that name pronounced right, who, by the way, Rudy Giuliani made his bones, so to speak, to steal a term from the gangsters of New York. He made his bones as a district attorney fighting the mafia in New York City. So he has room to speak upon law enforcement principles. But I think that Rudy Giuliani took great exception to Beyonce's performance, celebrating an anti-law enforcement group. A group that is known to attack and kill police in assassination style slayings and in processes where the police are trying to effect arrests on their members. They have been known to violently speak out and strike out against law enforcement. So where does that put us in this world of music and entertainment when we bring in political stances? Well, we know that that's a fine line. Giuliani said that that it was a tribute to women of the Black Panther Party, which is an anti-police group. Why are we seeing more of this sentiment against law enforcement? What is going on, and what is going to be the consequences of this continued clash of culture? How does it express itself in music? Well, one of the things is that I really relish the freedom that we have to write songs and express ourselves. And in my views, there's no greater format than art and entertainment, and it always has been. Even from way back in the times where, we lived in caves, men wanted to express themselves in cave drawings, and we made figures, and we gave them as gifts. We knew that we wanted to create something that was going to last longer than our short term here on the planet. We wanted to contribute to something that we would be remembered by, and therefore that drives mankind to create this art. That drives us to become artists and entertainers. So when we're doing that, we need to pick and choose very carefully what we tend to celebrate. And that would be my reservation. Would I defend Beyonce's right to say what she wants to? To a point, yes. Now, I believe that if what you do and what you say causes people to react violently, I believe that you have the responsibility of the public not to do that. You don't do that in that sort of fashion, because that leads to things that shouldn't happen. You can keep, one thing about an opinion, and this is all over Facebook, and Facebook is changing the way we feel about social issues. We're finding out that what people say on Facebook may not be what they really mean. Okay? So social media is driving this. Some of social media is driving the controversy with Beyonce and her Super Bowl performance. If you want to know more about this, please feel free to consult the internet, the World Wide Web, your media source. Google Beyonce's controversial Super Bowl performance, and you make your own opinion. Gather up the facts. When I was a child, too, in third grade, I remember that was the first time that I ever heard something called fact or opinion. They would give us 20 statements. Maybe 20, 25, I can't really remember the number, but it was called fact or opinion. And at the front of the statement, you either wrote fact or opinion. And now the funny thing is that I think we got away from those exercises as children, and we have begun to think that our opinion is fact, which is not always true. If your opinion is unsubstantiated by unfactual things that you just think or conjure up, then your opinion is not fact. Now, you may see things as fact, but that might not be the truth. Beyonce may see that celebrating the women of the Black Panther movement is something that she may regret, much like I'm sure Natalie Maines regrets. She regrets, how would I say this? Criticizing George Bush on a worldwide platform. The story is with the Dixie Chicks is that she alienated their entire market by criticizing George Bush, who was from Texas, of course, we all know that, and the Dixie Chicks were from Texas. But the Dixie Chicks' politics didn't line up with George Bush's stance in invading Iraq over weapons of mass destruction that proved to be non-existent, at least in Iraq. Caveat is that we know that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction because we sold them to them, and they used them. So did Iraq have weapons of mass destruction? Well, of course they did. Did they have them when we invaded? Well, of course they didn't. Surely they would have found them. Natalie Maines said that she regrets George Bush being from Texas, as in that Natalie Maines' music represented Texas, and so did George Bush, and she wished that she didn't represent the same state that George Bush represented. Unfortunately, the case was that the Dixie Chicks' career went down in flames. Why? Because their market supported George Bush. Their market supported the invasion of Iraq after 9/11. Their market, the people that consumed their music, supported someone she criticized. So in terms, she should have kept her mouth shut when it comes to politics. Another thing I think that is highly unfair when it comes to music, and in the case of the Dixie Chicks and Natalie Maines, is that she was criticized mainly because she was a woman. If a man in country music had said the same thing, I don't think it would have been destructive to their career. But country music has always been hard on its women performers. it's always judged them on a different level. It's so much harder to make it in country music as a woman than it is a man. And the reason is because as a woman, you have to please both your male and female market. As a man, you only have to please the female market in most cases. You have to sing well. I think you have to be a draw for men to come to your shows and men to buy your CDs. But if you get the women to come to your shows and buy your CDs, guess what's going to happen? The men will soon follow. So there's my commentary for the first segment of the show. What do you think? Call in 936-647-3776. What are the consequences of expressing political views through entertainment and art? We're going to talk about that later on in the show. And I have a great guest, local artist, singer-songwriter, Mr. Corey Michael is going to come into the show here. In a couple of segments, we're going to talk about what's in his future. And we'll maybe touch a little bit about what we talked about already. We're going to talk about the Montgomery County Fair. Exciting news. They have announced their entertainment lineup. And, of course, we're going to talk about what's going on later in the week in the music in Montgomery County and all over the southeast Texas area and beyond. Michael Player with the Michael Player Show. Thank you for tuning in, irlonestar.com. Hey, it's 2:15. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympics Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
Howdy, howdy, folks. Cable Smith, host of the Lone Star Outdoors Show, inviting you to join me Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 on Lone Star Internet Radio for Texas' premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor talk show. So pour yourself another cup of coffee and pull up that stool a little closer to the old campfire, because if you can catch it or kill it in Texas, we're going to talk about it. That's right. Bucks and ducks, gobblers, monster bass, redfish, trout, and a whole lot more. Plus, you never know what outdoor celebrity is going to drop by, from Phil the Duck Commander Robertson to fishing legend Bill Dance or everybody's favorite uncle Ted Nugent. Heck, we might even mix in an interview and hear some brand spanking new Texas music from one of your favorite Texas musicians like Robert Earl Keen, Brandon Ryder, or the honky-tonk kid himself, Aaron Watson. Loved or hated but never ignored, it's the Lone Star Outdoors Show with me, Cable Smith, Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 right here on Lone Star Internet Radio on irlonestar.com.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. We are proud to sponsor 10 philanthropic programs that enhance the lives of those in our community. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Doing business since
I'm Lieutenant Bob Berry with the Conroe Police Department, reminding you that drinking and driving do not mix. Drinking and driving causes an alcohol-related fatality every hour in the United States. Stay sober and stay alive.
Good afternoon. Thanks for coming back. The Michael Player Show on irlonestar.com. I can't tell you how proud and fortunate I feel to be hosting my own very own show here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 to 3 p.m. Thank you once again for tuning in, because without you, I wouldn't be doing this. Hey, what do we got next to talk to? Well, a little bit from the first segment. I still got to say that, we've had some heated discussion here in the studio about what went on in the Super Bowl. For some reason, it is a point. Feels like if you're going to do the Super Bowl halftime performance, then you're going to need to be controversial. That way your performance becomes impactful. impactive, is that a word? I don't know. But you need to have impact in your performance. That's what people remember you by as an artist. And just because your impact may be negative, it comes with great responsibility. And that's my saying to Miss Beyonce and all of her fans, is that I would defend with my life her right to perform and have freedom of speech. Doesn't mean I have to necessarily kind of agree with what she's saying. So anyway, that's what we talked a little bit about. If you have some commentary, go ahead and call in 936-647-3776. What are we going to talk about now? Well, let's say the Montgomery County Fair is coming up. Something I've been a part of since I've been living in the county in some form or fashion. My children have enjoyed always going to the county fair. It's one of the better county fairs in all of Texas, in my opinion, because it offers so much. It's going to be April 8th through 17th at the fairgrounds, of course. That's over there by the airport. If you need to know that, just Google Montgomery County Fairgrounds in the Google search bar, and it will take you to a map and show you exactly where it's going to be. When it's going to be is April 8th through the 17th. The rodeo starts out with the first weekend, and cowboys from all over the world compete there at the rodeo grounds, even cowboys from Brazil. The last time I was there, only one cowboy covered his whole bull, which covered means ride for the 8 seconds. The bulls there were the best that I had ever seen. This is the last year. I think it was the last time we were there. And time kind of flies by as I get older. I'm pretty sure that it was maybe 2 years ago. But the situation was the bulls were outstanding. And a lot of the bulls went on to compete in this company. They took them to Las Vegas for the National Finals Rodeo. Only one cowboy covered his bull during the 2 rounds that I saw. I also have seen with my own eyes the very fastest calf rope I've ever seen, and it was right at 4 seconds. Let's just say as soon as the barrier broke, the cowboy had the calf roped. It was just one of those things that worked out right. I've never seen a 4 flat second. And I think the world record is like 3.5 or something like that. Something really fast. But I saw a 4-second calf rope there at this rodeo. So we do have some of the top cowboys in all the country competing at the rodeo that will be April 8th and 9th, I believe. For more information, please go to MontgomeryCountyFairAssociation.org. That's www.mcfa.org. It'll tell you all about it. Of course, I'm more interested in the entertainment because that's my industry. Earl Thomas Conley is going to be there on the 8th. He will be performing after the rodeo. And, of course, he's known for his hits Holding Her and Loving You. And, of course, I've got to mention one of my favorite, Brotherly Love, that he sung as a duet with Keith Whitley. And if you're on the internet right now, just by all means, keep listening. But click open in a different window, YouTube, and do the Brotherly Love video. The video for that was shot if I have a brother. He's 18 months younger than me. And so we're very close, and we fought like tigers, and like the song says, and a lot of that rings true. So I cannot keep from welling up some slight tears in my eyes when I watch that video, and I'm not exaggerating. It's a video that moves you. So Earl Thomas Conley is going to be there April the 8th. That's after the rodeo. And on the 9th, Mr. Aaron Watson. The day later, Mr. Honky Tonk Kid himself, Aaron Watson's going to be there at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. That's April the 9th, after the rodeo. And I'm real proud of Aaron Watson. Now, I got a little history with Aaron Watson. When I was going to school at A&M, I was playing bass in a band. And in this band, the manager for Aaron Watson at the time, one of the managers was from the same hometown as the guys that I played in this band. They were called Texas Avenue, and they're from Pleasanton, Texas. And so I put it out there that I heard that Aaron Watson was looking for a touring bass player. Now, this is before a lot of Aaron Watson's hits, but no doubt he was still doing very well at the Texas Hall of Fame where I would go see him. He was packing them in and putting on a good show. And so I put the word out to that manager that, hey, I'd like to shot at auditioning for Aaron Watson. So the next day I'm sitting in a history class. It was the history of Africa. It was on the first floor of one of the buildings there on the east side of campus. And I got a phone call, and I knew by the phone number, I was like, you know what, I need to answer this. So I walked out there, and sure enough, it's Aaron Watson on the phone. He says, hey, man, I was hearing you need an audition. You'd like to audition for bass player, and I began to talk to him about it. So the situation was, I was in my junior year of college, but I was going to have to quit college in order to go on the road with Aaron Watson. And right then, in about 30 seconds in that phone call, I knew that my job with Aaron Watson wasn't going to go through because they didn't do the weekend warrior thing. They were on the bus and they were traveling all over the state all the time. But I did receive a CD of his in the mail, and I did work up a lot of those songs. And I always have that in the back of my mind. What if I'd have just taken a year off of college and went on the road with Aaron Watson? What would I be doing now? But it was kind of funny how you put yourself in the right situation, the right time, and a lot of good things can happen. But it was pretty exciting to get to talk to him, meet him, and have the possibility of going on the road with Aaron Watson. Aaron's career has really taken off locally. He's made a lot of waves nationally, too. He performs all over the country, not just a Texas country red dirt artist. He performs and sold out shows in L.A. and New York City. He has sold out shows in Montana and all through the Midwest, and done very well with his current CD that features a song called Fence Post. Now, if you haven't listened to Aaron Watson's material, I would suggest that you listen and I own his CD currently. I bought it on iTunes. I play it on my phone, and it comes up pretty heavy in the rotation when I play my music shuffled on my iTunes. On my iPhone, but Fence Post is a funny song because it talks about the situation that he experienced in Nashville. So it's an autobiographical song, to where the song talks about, that they think he's got it, but he'd rather be a fence post in Texas than the king of Tennessee, because he's not going to wear skinny jeans and he's not going to sing the songs that Nashville wants its current artists to be singing that make them the most money. But anyway, if you haven't seen Aaron Watson's show, which he performed not long at the Lone Star Convention Center, not long ago he performed out there to a sold-out show and did a real good job. And he has, and from being in the industry, I can tell you that his band is one of the top-notch bands in all of the red dirt sing, Texas country sing. It doesn't get any better than the band that he's got. Along with the Montgomery County Fair, of course, is the cook-off that most local musicians are involved with in some form or fashion. I have for 5 years performed for the Creekwater Cookers on the Friday night, playing for the cook-off teams. And last time we were there, one of my best performances, let's say, I'm not sitting there that it was a good performance, but I am saying that the most fun that I ever had performing for anyone was last year, storming, high winds, 30-mile-an-hour winds, the tent's blowing sideways, water's coming in sideways. A lot of our gear and our cases got soaked, but we were covered, and the only tent in the area that had music going on, no power issues, no rain issues, anything like that, was our tent, and there wasn't a place to sit in there in the Creekwater Cookers tent on Friday. People came in and had themselves a good time, and just had it. It was one of the nights. A lot of good stuff happened. And I'll never forget that. But Michael and Scott Perry have invited me out there for several years, and I've enjoyed that show very much. And it's always been sponsored by Clear Solution Services right here in Conroe. That's Michael Perry's company. He provides water treatment services both commercially and for the private sector. So if you're having problems with that sort of thing, check out Clear Solution Services. All right, well, we got Mr. Corey Michael coming up here in a few minutes. Corey, why don't you go ahead and step up to the microphone, talk a little bit about what's going on. He's on his iPad over there, ladies and gentlemen. But Corey is a local musician, artist, entertainer, songwriter. I have known Corey for a couple of years now, and it's been a pleasure working with Corey for several gigs. And yeah, that'll work. How you doing, Corey?
Hello. Sorry about that.
I'm springing Dick into action too. I was like, I do things on the fly here, and it's not always the best thing, but sometimes the best things aren't always planned.
Right.
What's been going on, man?
Just working a lot, trying to stay busy.
Yeah. Well, so thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Appreciate it, man. So you're going to perform for us a little bit and talk a little bit about your music career, and tell us a little about where you're from and how you got into music a little bit, and we'll tease the audience and get you can talk about what you're going to perform here in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Livingston, Texas. I grew up around playing music since I was like 16 years old. Around the bars and areas in Livingston and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just Working a lot. I'm not much of a talker.
Well, I'm going to get you to talk. That's my job. I'm a talk show host. I got to, I might say things like, "What's your favorite color?" That's that old Leonard Skinner song. It's like,
yeah,
remember that. But no, so you got brought up in who are some of your influences? Like, who do you want to sound like? Who do you idolize? And when you write or when you sing and perform, who are some of the people that you idolize and look up to when it comes to music?
My biggest artist was Travis Tritt.
Yeah.
I liked his style because he has the hard driving type country, and that big powerful voice of his, and that's what I wanted it to be like. Yeah. And later on, it was Garth Brooks, and Randy Travis, and Clint Black, George Strait, of course. I didn't really get into Willie Nelson's music till I was later on in life, and I was like, wait, this guy's pretty good.
yeah, I'm the same way, man.
Yeah.
Well, in East Texas, it was so dominated by, Nashville radio.
Right.
So if it was Top 40 Nashville, the country music countdown and all that, that's what we heard in heavy rotation.
Absolutely.
Now, if you grew up in Central Texas, around Austin, Kerrville, San Antonio, you got different radio out there. You did get a lot of that Texas flavor.
Oh, yeah.
The Texas Tornadoes, the Willie Nelson, the Ray Bensons.
Right.
Who, by the way, Ray Benson is playing tonight in Main Street Crossing in Tomball, Texas.
That's cool.
I know Wayne Michaels has been bragging he's going to see that show.
And
of course, I've got work to do tonight, but Ray Benson's a good guy and a good artist, and has always helped Wayne and Caden's Hope, which, by the way, is a foundation that I like to support, cadenshope.org. So I got to give them a shout out. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm the same way. You just say, like, what are some of your influences? And yeah, the 90s country. Yeah. Some of the funny thing is, like, people even back then said, well, this isn't as country as what we used to listen to, and now it's nowhere near the kind of country music. Like 90s country is what people call hardcore country compared to what country's coming out with now on national radio.
Right.
But I was the same way, man. And Travis Tritt is kind of a sleeper artist because, to me, I don't think that he was able. Well, I'll take this back. My overall view of his performance or his work doesn't really pay justice to his talent.
Right.
I mean, Travis Tritt is a talented son of a gun. And in fact, he played a show in Livingston not too long ago, within a year ago, and sold the place out. And I think Travis Tritt has a huge following in East Texas, and it's unbelievable how talented he is. And not all of his songs, I think, kind of, he wasn't able to show off. But like if he was in here in the studio, I mean, his voice and the way he's a phenomenal guitar player.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like he's as good as Vince Gill. Yeah. And to me, Vince Gill, kind of his voice and songwriting and guitar playing were kind of equal, but Travis Tritt, everybody just thinks he's just a singer, not really a guitar player. That sucker can play as good, if not better, than Vince Gill.
Right.
He's amazing on the guitar. So if you don't know what we're talking about, all you got to do is go to YouTube and do some video research on Travis Tritt. Michael Player sitting in. I'm not sitting in. This is my show. I'm at the helm. Corey Michael is my guest. He's going to come on later after this break and do some singing. How about that? Michael Player Show. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio here on irlonestar.com and soon to be Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 to the Michael Player Show. Right now it's bottom of the hour. It's around 2:29. We're going to be doing the weather and traffic and then get back to the show after a couple PSAs. Right now it's 65 degrees outside still in Montgomery County. Humidity is around 24%. This afternoon, we got a sunny of a high of 66 and a low of 45. With winds as high as 10 miles an hour coming from the south. If you're driving on I-45 right now northbound, you're going to run into some trouble around the Rayford Sawdust area. And then also, if you head up further north, you're going to be seeing some incidences inside the Conroe Loop, but nothing that will slow you down. 105 east to west, you're good to go, and 2482 east to west, good, and 1488, you're good to go. We'll update the top of the hour around 3 p.m. when we transition to Lone Star, afternoons with Lone Star, the Reluctant Cowboy. We're going to get back to the Michael Player Show. Don't forget, he is on Lone Star Community Radio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at his normal time, 2 p.m. on irlonestar.com. Stick around. We're going to get back to the PSAs, then the Michael Player Show.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and/or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympics Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
Hey, this is Cindy Cochran, and now Conroe can boast of another first. The first morning live talk show, 10 to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio, coming straight out of the fabulous downtown Conroe, Texas. Be the coolest guy at the water cooler, or the most informed break room dweller by listening to the fun side of the news, local, national, infinity, and beyond. The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
Welcome back, Michael Player Show, irlonestar.com. Soon to be 104.5 FM and 106.1 FM, broadcasting in the greater Montgomery County area. That's going to come soon enough, and we're looking forward to that. If you have any questions or want to make something known all over the World Wide Web, please call in 936-647-3776. That's 936-647-3776. My guest today, Mr. Corey Michael, who got his start as a photographer for Playboy magazine.
Yeah, I wish.
Is that? Tell us a little bit about what that was all about.
I wish.
I
was a poser.
Yeah, you were.
Put your leg up here.
No. That's too graphic. You can't get that graphic on this show, Corey. Golly. Oh, man, I'm just kidding. And Michael Player. And with Corey Michael is he's a Montgomery County resident, and we learned in the last segment he grew up around Livingston playing in the bars and learning how to play country music. He told me a while ago he learned on his chord changes of the guitar, he learned how to play it from bluegrass style.
Sure did.
And so, it's a pleasure to have him with the show, with us on the show. What's been going on? So we talked about your past. What are you doing right now, man? What, you getting a big show coming up this weekend?
Well, I got the I got April's Bar. It's right here in downtown.
Yeah, formerly Tuts.
Yeah, formerly Tuts. It's a real nice little place. They're having a sweethearts dance. Yeah, and they're having for all the girls that come in, they're giving chocolate covered cherries. They're having. Or not cherries, but strawberries.
Awesome.
Chocolate covered
so
strawberries.
So what woman would want a chocolate covered?
See, there you go.
Covered strawberries. Now that's all out on the internet. Now they're going to rush and they run out on them.
And it's $5 a cover. It's $5 a person cover.
Okay. And it's the Valentine's dance. Now you do your shows. Are they any different for Valentine's show? You sing more love songs?
I have a lot of love songs.
You just ooze love. You just get them all. And you can sing anything, and you just women just swoon around you,
wish.
right?
I wish.
Hey, it couldn't hurt, right?
Nah.
Well, see, the reason I ask is I'm going to do a Valentine's show at Ransom's, and I'm going to change.
I'm playing Ransom's
I'm
Friday
gonna.
night.
Oh yeah, you are at Ransom's Friday night. Well, that's cool. I'm going to do a whole set of nothing but love ballads. It's
Okay.
it's going to be so much love. It's just going to be on the floor. It's going to ooze, and it's going to be like you're going to roll your pants legs up because you'll be walking in all that love in there. So yeah, that's going to be cool. So Tuts, formerly Tuts, April's Bar now.
April's Bar.
And that's on Madeley Street right
April's
here in
Cocktails
downtown.
and Bar.
Yeah, go on Facebook and check them out. All you got to do is type in April's in the search engine. Are you plugged into social media?
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I'm all over
Definitely.
that thing, man.
I definitely have a Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course, they're all big. I'm more of a Facebook person
Is
myself.
that how you get
but
the word out about your shows and connect with
absolutely,
fans?
every week.
I think it's pretty cool because if you like what people do, like the other day I texted Zane Williams, who's I'm a big fan of Zane Williams. You know, he wrote one of my favorite songs right now, While I Was Away. And it really hits me in the heart. And I texted him about it. I said, man, because I knew Pat Green recorded it. I said, did you write that? He said, I sure did, you know, and he's texting me back and forth. So what I'm saying is that social media is a good way to reach out to people and to make those kind of connections.
I book about 80% of my gigs through
Don't give that away. You can't tell people trade secrets. But yeah, I mean, it's funny that you can,
Yeah.
you know, if someone has the you know, I think when people get too much exposure, then they have to kind of relent that social media coverage to someone else. They have to
Right.
delegate that
Absolutely.
authority. But you know, when you're small time or small-ish, and I'm sure there's certain times where, you know, if there's some like you get somebody that's in charge of say the biggest nightclub in Texas, and you can get on their Facebook and you can get them right to them. You know, they might answer your phone, they might not answer your calls or return your messages, but they'll get on Facebook. It's kind of funny because it's like it's not as personal, which that's what I was kind of alluding to in the first segment, is that with Facebook, you see both the very good and the worst of people, because I think people get on Facebook and say some stuff they don't mean just to troll people.
Yeah.
You know, just to get people to say something and to argue. You know, they pick fights. And I don't think that's the way social media is going to... If it's going to be successful and if it's going to last the test of time, social media needs to get better at that. And I don't know. I think people need to get better. And I don't know if that's possible. I don't even know if that's even possible. But I think that...
Well, there's a new saying out there. If you read it on Facebook, it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. And that couldn't be anything further from the truth. You know? And it's so funny that reality TV kind of came along, and then here comes social media. And nothing... You know, I think social media is more real than reality TV, because reality TV has gotten way out of hand where it's not reality anymore. You know, and social media may not really be who you are. You know, it may be an aspect of a persona that you want people to think you are, and you try so hard to do that. And I see it all the time. Or you know, somebody says something controversial, and then they'll say something just to play devil's advocate. You know, just to get to stir the pot more. And that's not what being human in social interaction is about. It's not about stirring the pot. But we've been so programmed by, you know, capitalist for the last, you know, since TV, that only thing that gets ratings on TV is the controversial stuff. It's not the stuff like the Feed the Children and the stuff that actually, you know, the things that actually improve your society.
Right.
Aren't really coming to fruition through social media. Now, maybe that's something that evolves. You know, like I think government health care is ugly right now, but I think in 30 years it's going to evolve into something that's beneficial to everybody.
Yeah.
Just like social media is probably not the best thing for a lot of people right now, but I think it can evolve into something that's better and it helps our community. But right now it's just an evolution. It's a process. It builds better. Well, we kind of got off on a tangent. Let's talk about the music. Corey Michael's in studio. He's got his guitar strapped on and he's ready to go with some music. Tell us a little bit about a song you want to produce or introduce to the listening audience, Corey.
Well, I have a song that's I wrote about 12 years ago with a good friend of mine in Austin, Texas. He's a musician over there in Austin, plays bass guitar and does a lot of solo shows and stuff like that. His name is Earl Hinton, and I tell you what, he does a lot of stuff in Austin and the surrounding areas, and he's really, really high energy type person.
Yeah.
Just a great guy. A person you absolutely want in your band.
Cool.
And
cool. So what's the name of the song?
It's called The Hands of Time.
Right on, man.
So me and him were just kind of messing around, and I got the first verse, and he says, well, I probably can write you the second verse. Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm great at writing the first verse and the chorus.
Yeah.
After that, it's like, uh-oh, what do I do now? Where do I go from here?
Yeah.
So this is I hope you like this one. I'd like to paint a picture of a time long ago. The way you looked, the way you smiled, hurts me deep down in my soul. 'Cause you give your heart away to another man. Well, how many tears will it take for me to understand? I wish that I could turn back the hands of time, back to the days when you were mine. I'd redo all my mistakes, make them better and right. If I could just turn back the hands of time. We would never fight, we would never cuss. There'd be no reason to bicker and fuss. No more slamming doors, no more broken hearts, no more silly dreams that we could tear apart. I could turn back the hands of time, back to the days when you were mine. I'd redo all my mistakes and make them better and right. If I could just turn back the hands of time. We said I could turn back the hands of time, back to the days when you were mine. I'd redo all my mistakes and make them better and right. If I could just turn back, if I could only turn back, if I could turn back the hands of time, the hands of time, yeah.
Corey Michael, The Hands of Time, on the Michael Player Show. Thank you very much, Corey. Stick around, and we'll be right back. Got a little bit more information to give you. Michael Player Show on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in on IR Internet Radio.
The East Texas Dream Center is in need of your help. We are a nonprofit Christian organization that houses women and children who are trying to get their lives back after being homeless, abused, or addicted. We are conveniently located at 301 South 1st Street, Conroe, Texas, 77301, right here in Montgomery County. Our needs are financial, and every needs of gasoline, cleaning supplies, laundry soap, Lysol, and whatever else God puts in your heart. To help our ladies and children, please consider a donation. You may visit our website at www.easttexasdreamcenter.org. Again, so you don't forget, it's www.easttexasdreamcenter.org. Donations are tax deductible. Remember what Jesus said, with God, nothing is impossible.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
At Jazzy Junk, volunteers reclaim, restore, and recycle. Jazzy Junk is a non-profit resale storefront where you will discover wonderful, unique finds at very affordable prices on furniture, antiques, books, art, home decor, and more. When you shop Jazzy Junk, you support New Danville, a community for adults with developmental disabilities. We receive new donations daily, so plan a visit to Jazzy Junk today to find that perfect item or gift. Our motto is here today, gone today. So remember to hurry in and shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on League Line Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org. That's Junque for more information and store hours.
All right, and we're back. A beautiful Wednesday afternoon here. We're broadcasting downtown Conroe, Texas, live at the epicenter of Conroe Internet Radio, irlonestar.com. I'm Michael Player. Welcome to the Michael Player Show. Thank you for tuning in. I never mentioned the background music. The background music that you hear is my CD. That song in particular is called Lonesome in Texas, and it's the title track to my debut CD, Lonesome in Texas. You can get that on iTunes, Amazon, anywhere digital music is sold. You can pretty much buy that. In fact, if you come to one of my shows, I'll sell you the CD. Now, I think we're making the transition from, hard copy music into digital music, but some people are still liking to own the CD, and I do like owning the CD because you get the liner notes and you get the picture, and you get, I think the quality is better than MP3 quality. WAV format, to me, sounds better than MP3. So anyway, I'm here with Corey Michael. He's going to finish out the segment with me. You heard him perform earlier during the show, The Hands of Time. We were talking about going in the studio, and he's making plans to do that. But, we've done some shows together. We perform live, and that's how I met you, was watching you perform live and going through that, going to some of the places where you play. Tell us a little bit, what are some of your favorite places that you like to play, and tell the difference in performing live versus, writing or anything like that. What just to begin with, what's your favorite venue to play?
I like the Whirlwind. I know you don't really care for it much, but I mean, okay, whatever.
The Whirlwind in Livingston. I've had some good experiences there, and I've had
one
some
of my favorites.
Questionable.
All of my friends.
Yeah, well, that's your
that's
backyard, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's good that you can pull a good crowd and have a lot of fun in your backyard. But I mean, the Whirlwind. When you play there, is it like a big party atmosphere, or are they really listening?
It's a big dancing crowd. I have like a dancing. What I say, a dancing crew. It's a bunch of older people that really love to dance, and they love the line dancing, and they line dance to almost everything I do.
Right on.
It's funny to see them out there dancing rose-colored glasses, line dancing.
Oh yeah,
but hey, it works for them.
Is that
interesting?
Do you change your set list as it
Absolutely.
goes? You do that. I kind of like it myself. Now I know to get tight and to put on a show, the show set list may be a little bit different than the dance hall set list, but you kind of got to fill the crowd out.
Exactly.
Some places you play, they're not going to dance. I mean, no matter
what. I have
a listening room.
I have a 3-song. Song block set list type thing, and I have like a ton of them, and I just basically pick and choose what they're dancing to, and I'll go from there. Plus, I like all the songs that I kind of do.
Right on. How many songs have you written?
In my life, I've probably written about 13. I'm not much of a writer. I write like once a year. I'm more of a co-writer than I am almost every song that I've written, except for a couple of them that I've co-written with other people.
Right on. Right on. So, would you expect to go in the studio sometime this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your kind of expectations on that? What do you want it to sound like? Now, I know Hands of Time. When you said that before you prefaced that song with, Travis Tritt's an influence, and obviously there's I heard it, man. That's awesome that you have that kind of influence. But it sounded great though. How do you want it to come out in the studio?
I'm a balladeer, so I like everything to be real nice and fat, a big sound, a decent sound. Yeah. And I'm all about the harmonies and stuff like that. My lead player Brandon Lofton sings a lot of harmony with me and stuff like that.
Give a shout out to your band. Who's in your band? They local guys?
Yep. I got Brandon Lofton, Terry Wayne on drums, Timmy Toe-Speck. It's a little funny little story here. Timmy Toe used to play for a band called Itchy Brother up there in Kentucky, and they went on to become the Kentucky Headhunters.
Right.
He didn't play with the Kentucky Headhunters after that, but yeah,
he played with those guys.
He played with those guys.
Yeah, the brothers.
And
that band was built around the brothers.
Really, really good bass player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
and he's such a character.
Right.
He's definitely
he's got a lot of stage presence.
Absolutely,
he's a very unique individual. Mm-hmm. And when you see that, it's like you want to be remembered. You want to make an impact. And when Timmy's on stage, people are watching.
Absolutely.
He's got a hat.
He's got that big old hat. He's got that big old long beard.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a moonshiner.
Yeah, he does.
It's like after the show, he's like, "Hey man, you got any shine?" And he might, I don't know, but he looks like
he knows how to make it.
Yeah.
He has told me his cousins and his cousins in Kentucky make it on their own moonshine. So
sounds good, man.
That's really cool.
I'm going to ask him about that. Well, he also looks like he could be in a Civil War reenactment.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And that he would fit right in and that sort of thing. And but it's good that you're enjoying your time with them, and I wish you get it done with a 4-piece, man. You ever have anything else?
I used to have a keyboard player in one of my older bands, and I've had a fiddle player. I've got a couple of fiddle players in my pocket, believe it or not, that are pretty decent. I've got Chris Whitten.
Yeah.
He used to play for Kevin Fowler.
Yeah.
He's a good buddy of mine now.
Good deal.
And he's going to start trying to possibly play with us in some of the bigger gigs and things like that.
That'll be good. Now, he lives south of Houston, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I've talked to Chris a few times, and of course we saw him at that gig we played over there. Well, where were we at? Where we didn't get paid? I try to forget bad memories.
Stop.
The Hog Stop. Yeah, nobody got paid that gig, but he put on a great show. He's like 6'7"
I think he played with everybody.
Yeah, he did.
Except for us.
Right. Yeah, I didn't bother playing that show. When that guy got up there and started singing, I was like, I'm done. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna stick around for this stuff, But that's a funny story. That's a whole other story for off-air comment. Oh yeah. But anyway, my name is Michael Player. I've been sitting here with Corey Michael. He's been entertaining us and talking about music. But Corey, where are you playing? Let's plug that a little bit.
This Friday I'll be at
Ransom's.
The Ransom Steakhouse.
Yeah, and then Saturday
night right here in downtown Conroe at April's Bar, which is formerly known as Tuts.
Right on, man. And they can get you on the internet where?
Just on Facebook right now.
Okay.
We don't have a web address yet, but we will.
Go on Facebook and search Corey Michael. My name is Michael Player. You can catch me at michaelplayermusic.com. Thank you so much for tuning in on Wednesday's edition of the Michael Player Show. I will be at the Republic Ice House in Tyler on Friday, and I'll turn right back on and come home to Ransom Steakhouse for a Valentine's show Saturday night starting at 7 p.m. So before then, I'll see you next week. I'll be out of town on Friday. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you. Michael Player Show out.
Thank you for checking out a podcast on Lone Star Internet Radio. Lone Star Internet Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas. If you are interested in sponsoring a program for Lone Star Internet Radio, just visit us online at irlonestar.com or message us on Facebook. We are always taking song requests on Twitter, and if you are interested in getting involved with the station, by either hosting your own show or if you want to be a DJ. Just contact Dick at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Internet Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station.